Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. We're gonna get into it in a second. Let me go ahead and just pull up the rest of these things that I need here for the discussion. Hit that like button because we're gonna be here for a while ranting about what we saw today. Now that we got a lot of information confirmed, so this is about to be a doozy. Hold tight. Get some more information on the screen real quick. I'm trying to make sure I organize everything, so just bear with the info real quick. Oh yeah, we gonna be up late night talking about Switch 2, baby. It's time, it's time, it's time. Like button, share, you know what I mean? Let's get some people up in here because I'm about to go in. Nobody believed what I said about Switch 2. We about to go in and have some seat. Well. What's going on, Chad? How's my mic doing? My mic probably sounded low because of that background music, but how does it sound now? You know what I mean? What's going on, Chad? You know what I mean? Everybody tap in. Tap in, let the EmpBruh know you here because we got a little late night stream. I couldn't hold myself back from doing this because we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about when it comes to Nintendo Switch 2. A whole damn lot. And man, there's a lot of information. A lot of information that went on. As you can probably see over the title of this video, Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Direct review. It's game over for Xbox Series and PS5. And I'm going to explain that to you, why that is the case. If it ain't already evident to you by now, which it should be. It should be. It really should be evident to you by now. What are y'all going on in this chat over here about? Oh man, we're gonna talk about Switch 2 games. We're gonna talk about Switch 2 edition of Switch 1 games. We're going to talk about obviously the Switch 2 specs. We're going to talk about the Switch 2 game prices. We're going to talk about it everything. We're going to talk about it all simply because it's a lot. I'm not even going to say it's a lot. What basically happened a little bit earlier today, which a lot of it is now getting cleared up a little bit, but you know, the same old usual suspects. The Nintendo hate brigade has been on a full terror trying to push a false narrative are false. Now I'm gonna turn the mic up just a little bit because I'm gonna start yelling in a minute, so I don't want to be too loud. The usual suspects, you know what I'm saying? The usual Nintendo hate brigade has been on a now 13 to 14 hour lying propaganda spree about Switch 2 game prices and Switch 2 game carts. And it's been so hilarious to watch on social media because if anybody really decided to, use the skills they acquired in elementary school and actually, type in Nintendo.com and actually read what's on their website, you could pretty much see that, the fake ass discourse online is basically false. But nobody wants to do that because that's just not how the Nintendo hate brigade rolls. They find something that they can possibly deem negative about Nintendo or Nintendo hardware or Nintendo games or Nintendo content, and they just run with it without even validating a fucking thing. That's what they do. And it's been hilarious to watch because you can obviously just, click on a website and see exactly what the information you're looking for, but nobody wants to do that. They just want to take false headlines and just run with it and don't even care about the actual official information that the actual company puts out. Let's just run with bullshit that we see online and let's regurgitate everything we read online. It's sad that we are dismantling the Department of Education because clearly we fucking need it because people have terrible reader comprehension skills, and I don't think people know how to read, especially on the internet. Because if you have information that blatantly is in front of you and you refuse to read it, that's starting to tell me that you don't know how to read. That's what it's starting to tell me. But we'll get into that in a second. But I do want to play this beautiful bean footage because it's fucking beautiful. Why else would I not want to play it? I got to play this again because it's the Switch 2 overview trailer. And I just want to play this again.
In TV mode, use the dock to play on a
simply because I just want to go over all the features of the Switch 2 hardware.
And share a controller with a friend. In handheld mode, play anywhere you go.
Obviously, we already knew that.
Modes, you can enjoy playing whenever and wherever you want. All together, anytime, anywhere.
I love that. I love that new tagline. I love that new tagline.
And how it's improved from the Nintendo Switch.
I love that new tagline. Anytime, all together, anywhere. Bigger screen, same thickness.
At 7.9 inches, Switch 2 has a bigger built-in screen. Here's how that compares to Nintendo Switch. The system's thickness remains the same.
Yep. High definition display. Now here's where we're going to talk about this for a second.
Double the pixels compared to Switch. You can enjoy games in greater detail on the 1080p screen.
1080p screen, bigger screen, better quality screen, more vivid screen. And this is where the shocker kicked in the first time.
120 frames per second, allowing for smoother gameplay in supported titles.
Now, I gotta pause right there, right? We have to pause right there because this image right here is something that everybody was not expecting to see. Not expecting to see because... simply because, right? Because what did we hear? What did we hear for the last year and a half about Nintendo Switch 2? What did we hear? We heard people saying, the screen is going to be lackluster. We heard people that the screen is going to be 720p. You'd be lucky if you hit 60 frames per second in portable mode because the chip is 8 nanometer and all this other bullshit. And what happens? What happens to all the regurgitated deep throating of the Nintendo hate brigade? What happens the day we get this thing revealed? Nintendo takes their nutsack, pulls it out of their pants, and drops it right on their forehead. Not only do you have a new and improved LCD screen vivid display, you also are going to have a 1080p bigger screen and vivid display. And oh, by the way, your frame rate is going to go up to 120 frames per second. You know, something that the Nintendo Hate Brigade said it was not going to be possible because the chip is 8 nanometer and that means bad performance. I never remember that. Go ahead, tell me some more about this thing, Nintendo.
Per second.
Tell me some more about this.
Gameplay and supported titles.
What else we got? HDR support.
The screen is more vivid and supports HDR, providing more contrast between light and dark areas of.
Now, I'm gonna pause right there again while we review all this Nintendo Switch stuff once again. So now we for the last 6 months, it was so much bullshit about the performance of the Nintendo Switch 2. And as you can blatantly see right here, they're showing you in very clear detail the difference between the LCD screen on the Switch 1 and the LCD screen on the Switch 2. And they also added in HDR support, which also the Nintendo Hate Brigade said it was not going to be happening. So there's a lot of people that got egg on their face. No, I'm going to take that back. There's a lot of people that got nuts on their face right now. I mean, big grapefruit Nintendo nuts are hitting on their face right now. Because all I heard for the last 6 to 7 to 9 months is how weak this system was going to be, how utterly terrible the performance was going to be, because it's built on an 8 nanometer processor on a chip, 8 nanometer. That's all we fucking heard for the last fucking 6 months. Now I'm putting a big point and emphasis on this because I keep telling you people, believe the evidence that you have in front of you. Believe what comes out of the horse's mouth. Don't believe your dumbass people on social media, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Stop listening to Digital Foundry. Digital Foundry literally 2 months ago compared the Switch 2 hardware to a fucking iPhone and Xbox One S. Not Xbox Series S, Xbox One S. Once again, for the second time in a row, Digital Foundry was completely wrong about Nintendo hardware for the second generation in a row. But go ahead, I'm going to let Nintendo continue this overview trailer because they claim the performance of the Switch 2 was going to be on par to the Xbox One S. That video is still up, by the way. Stop listening to those dumbasses and those jackasses at Digital Foundry. I keep telling you they're not experts. They are just opinionated gamers just like me and you. But let Nintendo continue this overview trailer.
The images. The all-new Joy-Con 2 controllers connect magnetically. Strong magnets keep the controllers firmly attached to the system.
Beautiful, I love that.
Controller easily by pressing the release button on the back.
Okay, I'm gonna pause there because a lot of people really thought that button. Let me go back to that button and see if we go back to that button. Yeah, a lot of people thought. Oh, there we go. A lot of people thought that button on the back was an extra button or analog trigger. It was obvious that was a release button. I don't know what people was talking about, but obviously you can see there it's a release button. It's a release button. So far, the first 2 minutes of the Switch 2 overview trailer, you had 9 months of Nintendo Switch 2 rumors and leaks. I'm not even going to say rumors. I'm going to say the Switch 2 dumbassery debunked. All that negative discourse about Switch 2 capabilities was for what? Y'all really have to start asking yourselves this. Like, when you start to see a pattern, you really got to start asking yourself, who is just pulling this shit out of their ass and making this shit up? Switch 2. Improved LCD display. 1080p display. up to 120 frames per second. Something that told me that it was going to be bad performance because 8 nanometer. I can't see it running anything on Xbox Series S and PS5. We're going to get to that part. Obviously, we're going to get to that part in a second too. But it's ridiculous. HDR support. But, you know, we're just going to have to continue on, you know. Let's continue on with this trailer.
The SL and SR buttons are bigger for greater comfort and control when playing with a Joy-Con 2 held horizontally.
Now, I love that. I love that because I actually like playing with a single Joy-Con, but it was just too small. But now it's bigger. Mouse controls.
Each Joy-Con 2 controller can be used as a mouse, opening up even more ways to play in compatible games.
Beautiful. So this is what I talked about previously in a live stream about the Joy-Con 2 mouse capabilities, which everybody tried. They even tried to deny the mouse capabilities when it was blatantly obvious from the reveal trailer when they first showed the Switch. This is what I was talking about, and I'm glad Nintendo is implementing this out of the gate in Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. The ability to have the mouse pointer controls with the improved motion capability controls in the Switch 2 Joy-Con is a major game changer. Just look how beautiful and smooth this thing moves. Kind of reminds me of Metroid Prime 3 on the Wii.
Support mouse controls, so you can also play certain games using 2 mice, like this.
Oh, can y'all imagine? Let me pause that right there. So when I first saw that, right? When I first saw that jumper, right? Y'all know what I thought about immediately. Right? We are finally getting back the motion control jumper in NBA 2K. We had it on the Wii. We lost it after the Wii. I'm ready for that. If nobody really played NBA 2K on the Wii, it was, the motion controls were pretty good, especially when you did your own jump shot. They have to implement that in NBA 2K, which has already been confirmed for Switch 2, by the way. I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. I'm really ready for that.
Like this.
Look at that. Look, that's going. Boy, my jumper was killer, boy. I'm finna kill him on NBA 2K Online now.
Adjusting the audio balance between the ranges, sounds from the built-in speakers are clearer and more natural in handheld and tabletop modes. It has a built-in microphone, so you can voice chat with friends anytime via GameChat. It also uses noise-canceling technology to filter sounds, so your voice will come through clearly.
I love that. 3D audio and noise canceling for the mic.
Have a surround sound system. Games can be enjoyed with more immersive, 3-dimensional sound, as if it were coming from all around you.
Love it.
Place your Nintendo Switch 2 however you like with a large, sturdy stand. You can move it.
Large, sturdy stand now.
In addition
to
the
USB-C
port found on the bottom of the system, there's one on top as well. It's handy for connecting a USB-C camera or charging in tabletop mode.
That's very much was needed.
Switch 2 comes with 256 gigabytes of internal storage, 8 times that of Nintendo Switch, for storing your game downloads, save data, and more.
Now I want to come back to that because the leaks came out. My bad, they ain't even leaks no more. The made up bullshit came out that I believe they said Switch 2 was going to have storage of 64 gigabytes or something like that. Once again, we come here and we're at 256 gigabytes. Do y'all notice the pattern here? Is anybody noticing the pattern here of what we went through for the last 6 to 9 months? I hope y'all noticing this pattern here. Hope y'all noticing it.
Storing your game downloads, save data, and more. Reading and writing data is also faster.
Now I'm gonna run that back because I don't think people recognize that. You see, there was really a Switch 2 rumor that the Switch 2 internal storage was going to be some fast memory. But of course, the Nintendo Hate Brigade said it ain't going to be this, it ain't going to be that. But let's run it back and hear what they said about the internal storage about Switch 2 compared to Switch 1.
And more. Reading and writing data is also faster.
Reading and writing data is also faster. Once again, something else that they were saying that the Switch 2 was not going to be able to do. They blatantly tell you in this trailer it's going to do it. Man. You know what's crazy? Everything so far that they've shown in this overview trailer, everything so far kind of realistically almost lines up with that initial NVIDIA hack leak and really debunks all the bullshit fake leaks that came out after it. That's very interesting. Very interesting. I hope y'all noticed that pattern, but tell us some more about what's going on in this Switch 2, Nintendo. Tell us some more.
Use the Nintendo Switch 2 dock to connect to your TV and enable up to 4K resolution for compatible games.
Nintendo, you said what? Hold on. No. You didn't say that. You didn't say that because the Nintendo Hate Brigade told me that there's no way possible that this little 8nm handheld is going to do 4K. It's not possible. The thing will overheat. There's no way. The TPD. That's what they told me for the last 6 months. The TPD. The drawing power. There's no way. So Nintendo, tell me again what this thing does.
Use the Nintendo Switch 2 dock to connect to your TV and enable up to 4K resolution for compatible games.
Now, Nintendo, how is that possible on this weak-ass little fucking 8nm chip? How is it possible? Because the Nintendo Hate Brigade was telling me that the dock doesn't do shit. It's just a TV output. It don't do a goddamn thing. Nintendo, how are you doing this? This is wizardry. This is magic of the fucking gathering you're doing right now. Tell me some more.
HDR is also supported in TV mode.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Is that a true 4K resolution I see right there, Nintendo? That's no way. No way this 8nm chip is doing this. There's no way. It's only going to be 1440p docked. It's only going to be 1440. Oh, God, bruh. Jesus Christ. There's no way. You're delusional. You're fucking delusional, man, if you think that little goddamn Switch is going to be doing some 4K docked. That TPT, that thing going to burn up, man. It ain't happening. Okay. All right, Nintendo, tell us some more about this impossible feat you just created with this system.
The Nintendo Switch 2 dock has a built-in fan that keeps your system cool. This helps keep performance stable.
Now, this is the most funniest part because this part of the Switch 2 dock kind of leaked within the last 3 to 4 months. Because we didn't know about this until the last 3 or 4 months about the Switch 2 having a cooling fan in it. And everybody on the Nintendo Hate Brigade swore up and down this was not going to be reality. Everybody on the Nintendo Hate Brigade swore up and down that it doesn't. it doesn't matter if it does have a fan in it. It doesn't do anything. Sir, the fucking Switch 1 did not have an internal cooling fan in the dock. If you're going to put an internal cooling fan in a piece of hardware, you're doing that for a reason. Now we know why. Because the thing puts out in 4K. And guess what? They don't want your Switch 2 to melt in that plastic goddamn dock. So you gotta put a fan in there. Because you know why? Because the dock actually does shit. Just like it does shit on the Switch 1. That's like the Switch 1 has 2 performance modes. The Switch 2 is going to have 2 performance modes. Portable and docked. Well, goddamn, you know that new 8nm chip ain't going to... Shut your ass up. He's going to tell him some more about this shit.
On Nintendo Switch 2,
It's crazy, man.
Nintendo Switch 2 games, as well as compatible Nintendo Switch games. Physical
Beautiful.
and digital games are supported.
Now, I want to pause there because some idiot from a publication I'm not going to name had the audacity to write an article and say, Nintendo Switch 2 won't be backwards compatible with Switch 1 games. Only digital only. Boy, that was the stupidest shit I've ever read. It was hilarious because they had already confirmed it previously in the reveal trailer. But the fact of the matter is that we actually got some steam from the Nintendo hate brigade that it wasn't going to be fully backwards capable. That's fucking hilarious. You know, this 8nm chip ain't going to be doing like that. Keep your expectations low. Keep your expectations low, man. You're delusional. It's not going to be doing all of that. Not in that little goddamn thing. That thing, if the wrong ally can't do that, why do you think the Switch 2 going to do that? If the Steam Deck can't do that, why do you think the Switch 2 going to... Shut your ass up. Where are they now? I can't find these people. They have been noticeably absent. Can't find them. Really can't find them. Tell me some more, Nintendo. Tell me some more. And that beautiful release date. That beautiful release date. Let's put that release date up there for a second, man. We gotta put that release date back up there for a second. June 5th. And you know what's so funny? I predicted that on the money. I predicted that on the money. On the Nintendo Switch 1 Direct last week. I predicted that on the money. Because it just made perfect sense. People gotta understand that I was telling people that quarterly results mean something to Nintendo. So if they was going to release Switch 2 outside of the fall and outside of the holiday, they was definitely going to release it before quarter 2 was over. Quarter 2 financials in June 30th, 2025. That gives them a whole month to sell Switch 2 to get some solid initial numbers. It wasn't going to be any other date. It wasn't going to release him. At some point, a lot of y'all believed in January that the console was going to launch in March. I ain't forgot that y'all believed that dumbass shit. I ain't forgot. But I kept telling y'all, it's not happening. They're going to sell the Switch 1 stock out, and they're going to make sure they have enough time to actually sell out of Switch 2 for their quarterly results. Because they need quarterly financials to be strong. So June 5th was exactly what I was thinking of. Gives you exactly 4 weeks to sell out your Switch 2 stock. It's simple. It's common sense. See, when you apply common sense and the actual facts that the actual horse's mouth give you, you can figure stuff out. Everything I said about Switch 2 has come to fruition. Exactly the way I said it. But no, I had people just try to argue me down, and Digital Foundry said this, and Digital Foundry did this, and Digital Foundry knows because they know the experts, they know people. Well, obviously Digital Foundry doesn't know shit when it comes to Nintendo hardware. Second time in a row, They have got it completely wrong. Now, it's pretty obvious that this system is even more powerful than I initially thought it was going to be. That's pretty obvious now. I was not really expecting HDR support. I was not really expecting 120 frames per second support at all. I was not expecting that. Obviously we know DLSS is in there because DLSS is DLSSing its ass off. Cause so far ain't no game. I haven't seen any game that's been confirmed to be under 60 frames per second. Everything has been 60 frames and up that they shown so far. So DLSS is definitely doing its work in this console for sure. And I told people, and they really thought I was crazy when I said this. I said it's going to be hilarious when Nintendo Switch 2 outperforms the PS5 and the Xbox Series consoles in in-game performance. And you're already going to see that's going to be a case. That's already going to be a case because they're already touting 120 frames per second out of the gate. So it's like, I tried to tell people that was going to be the case simply because of technology that's in the system. So it's very interesting. So I want to bring up the C button feature, because the C button feature, obviously all of that told you where the power lies of the Nintendo Switch 2 for sure. Definitely shows you where the power lies for Nintendo Switch 2 for sure. But the C button game chat feature really showed you how powerful this system is. And I want to bring that up because everybody was telling me the chip is 8 nanometer. You can't do that. It's not happening. The ROG Ally is $800 and it don't have performance like that. Well, goddamn. The ROG Ally must be a piece of shit. The Steam Deck must be a piece of shit. Oh, by the way, those are actual mobile PCs. They're not dedicated gaming consoles. They're not going to perform better than the Switch 2, which is a dedicated gaming console. It doesn't have to run like a PC. It's a gaming console. Steam Deck ain't doing 120 frames per second. I don't even think the ROG Ally is doing 120 frames per second. But those things are way more expensive. And they don't perform like this thing does. I wonder why. Because you can't compare an open platform PC to a dedicated gaming device, because one does 1,000 fucking things and the other device does one thing: play games. It's very simple. But if that wasn't already enough to let you know where the power lies for the Nintendo Switch 2, which I've been saying for the longest that the power lies between the Xbox Series S and the PS5. But when I seen the C button feature, I was a little bit surprised. I was a little bit surprised. I'm a little bit taken back for my own good, because it was doing a little bit more than initially I thought it was going to be doing. It was doing a little bit more than I initially thought it was going to be doing, because the C button feature, people don't understand. The C button feature is doing a lot. And to be able to have native voice chat along with native video chat with live video feeds while you play a game online, y'all got to understand how much processing power, with up to 4 people, by the way, which you can share your screen and you can game share at the same time. Y'all got to understand how much processing power that has to take to do that. Because Switch wasn't doing nothing related to that at all. Hell, the fucking Xbox and PS5 ain't doing video game chat like that. Not while you're playing a game online with 4 other people connected. It's not. You're not doing that. Like, it's not happening. So I need to pull up that game chat. I need to pull up. I know this Will Smith meme on the screen is hilarious. That's my favorite meme, by the way. We're going to get Switch 1 to 160 million for sure. Nintendo's going to do that. So I want to bring up the Nintendo C button game chat feature video, so y'all can really see what's going on here, and we can review that together. And I'll give my, thoughts on that as well. Simply because it's an interesting situation when it comes to that.
I'm still ahead of all of you guys.
So, yeah, y'all gotta understand how much processing power it takes to run Mario Kart World, which is an open world game with 24 racers, to have in-game voice chat with video streaming chat at the same time.
Introducing GameChat, a new feature for
I don't think y'all realize this.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hi, missed you.
With this feature, you'll be able to communicate with friends and family while playing a game.
Should we follow you? Yeah?
Yeah, follow me.
Okay.
For an adventure.
Now, here's the thing. About this. It's about goddamn time, because we've been waiting on this for so goddamn long. It's kind of hilarious how long we've been waiting on this. Simply because it was long overdue. We needed native voice chat for so goddamn long. We finally got it. But we didn't only get that. They even took us a way bit further. They took us way bit further and gave us video chat. You know what I mean? They said, forget it.
GameChat feature. Your voice is recognized by a microphone built into the system.
Oh, okay. But you're still behind me, right?
Then they gave us a cool ass noise suppression mic.
Voice clearly, even from a distance.
Look at this. Jump on here. Alright, let's keep going. Let's make a left right here.
When it's noisy around you, your voice will still come through clearly, letting you chat with ease.
How did you get hit by a bow? Okay, nice.
I love that. I love that.
And you can use this feature in handheld mode too, letting you easily chat with friends and family.
Now, I love that. Now, keep in mind, all of the features that you already know that the Switch 2 already does, that you've seen in the overview trailer. Now you have to add in this native voice chat for the system, which also has video chat, which also has screen sharing. So the fact that you are going to do all of this while playing the game,
Screen sharing?
Good job. There we go.
and while your partners are sharing the game as well, you have to understand how much processing power that has to take to render all of that while still running the game as is. So this is when I knew, I was like, this system is way more powerful than I initially thought. I think we're more closer to PS5 than I initially thought we were, because it takes a lot of processing power to do something like this. And it takes a lot of RAM to do something like this, for an operating system to be able to do this while also playing a game, at high quality, like Mario Kart World, which is probably going to run 4K 60 dock. It's probably going to run 120 frames per second in handheld mode. It's going to take a lot. So this Nintendo Switch 2 is way more capable, even further more capable than I initially thought it was going to be. So let me get the super chat real quick. Juice Man Vaughn, where you came from, my bad. What's your thoughts about the price of the games, Baron? I'm going to get to that. I don't want to skip anything. This is a full review. So I want to get the C button thing out the way. I'm going to get to the game prices thing, because that has to be cleared up. But I really had to attack and really show how Nintendo and your EmpBruh put our nuts on the face of all the Nintendo haters out there. Because this 8 nanometer chip means bad performance, and that's exactly what the fuck it was not. It was a complete fucking opposite. The complete opposite, my guy. So let's get through this. I'm going to get to those game prices in a second.
Really? They can do that?
Can do it? You guys, I just did it.
I want to do it too.
Oh, shoot.
All right. So I want to.
Oh, he's trying to eat me. He's trying to eat me.
I want to get to this video part.
Oh, no.
What I did with Mario. Okay, now we get to the camera.
Hey!
Hey, what's up? Hello.
Now this is the feature that I like a lot,
How's everyone
which is cool,
doing? Good?
which is very cool. I love this.
And video chat while playing a game.
Your face is on here.
Wait, Nick, how was your test yesterday?
This was obviously the next step evolution for Nintendo when it came to online functionality, and it was greatly needed. We live in a day and age of streaming, and this is how people pay games, and it's inevitable. This is how it's going to have to be from this point on. I don't think anybody else. I don't think anybody else or any other company can do it differently now. This is going to now become the standard. This is going to be the standard moving forward. So, those mobile PCs, once again, they're going to be a step behind once again. PS5 and Xbox Series, they're going to be a step behind once again. This is going to be the standard. This is going to be the standard now. You have to do video chat. This is the era we're in now. We're in the TikTok, Twitch, YouTube streaming era. This is how it's going to have to be. This is the change that was inevitable. And I have to applaud Nintendo for finally doing that shit because it was long overdue. It was long overdue. What we had to endure, on the Switch 1 was ridiculous. Even though a lot of developers really overrided that bullshit and did put native voice chat in a lot of games. Now we don't have to worry about that anymore. That thing is over with. That thing is over with. What is wrong with my mic? Since some people in the chat seem to be upset. What is the problem with my mic now? Is it too low? Or do we have some audio enthusiasts in here? Or is that could be the case? Do we have some audio deep throaters in here? Is that what it is? I don't know, but yeah, the C button feature is a really good thing. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. So I'm glad they got this out of the way. It needed to be done. This is the last quote unquote dark cloud that was hovering over. It sounds like I'm deep. You stupid as hell. Okay, maybe I need to back up for the mic then. Damn, you know what I mean? Damn, bro. It's crazy. I don't know. Some people are just if that audio ain't crystal clear, if it doesn't sound like Cleopatra or Celine Dion in your ear, some people they spaz out, they crash out if you ain't sounding like Aaliyah or Alicia Keys in their goddamn ear. You know what I mean? They have problems with that, but it's all good. So I'm glad Nintendo has done this. I'm glad it's over. This has been one of those quote unquote dark clouds that's been hovering around. so I'm glad it's done. I'm glad they went the extra step to include native voice chat, native video chat, and obviously the Nintendo Switch 2 camera also can be used in gameplay. And that is a big thing. That is a real big thing. And now, what else we got to talk about here? I don't want to miss anything. But that was one of the main things. So yeah, obviously, the live feed of the video feed into the gameplay. That's also cool. I expect a lot of Nintendo games to actually do that. I would love to have that feature implemented in stuff like Madden, obviously Call of Duty, you know, NBA 2K, Metroid Prime 4. I'm wishing in Metroid Prime 4 multiplayer into existence. Obviously for Splatoon, obviously that's great. And I like how y'all can video chat and video share no matter what game y'all playing. I love that. Y'all can all just be in the video chat playing different games and also sharing what games you got. All together, anytime, anywhere. Love it. That's a great thing. That's a great thing. That's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. The Nintendo Switch 2 camera, I like it. It looks sleek. I think it's that size for a reason. So, but I also want to pause on this. Gotta pause on that. Let me go back to that. I need to pause on that. Bring your ass back over here. I want to see no damn. Give a damn about no parental controls. Okay, this is what I want to pause on because this is also this also causes some confusion online. Obviously, they were saying that the C button feature is reserved for people who are subscribed to Nintendo Switch Online. Some people feel a little bit differently about that. I really don't care. I think we're at the point where the majority of people who have systems are going to have the online membership. They're going to have Xbox Live / Xbox Game Pass. They're going to have PSN. They're going to have NSO. So I don't see it as a big deal. But even though some people thought it was a big deal, Nintendo is still giving it to you for free for a whole fucking year. A whole year, basically. So it's like, you have no excuse. And plus, Nintendo Switch Online is the cheapest of all of them. So it's like, what is it? $4? I don't have the low tier. I have the expansion pass. So what is it? $4 a month? Like, bruh, it's no excuse. There's no excuse. Having voice chat technically, quote unquote, behind a paywall, I guess that's a big deal. But then again, it's like, who's actually not going to have Nintendo Switch Online? Like, you're going to play Mario Kart Online. You're going to play Smash Brothers when it comes out. You're going to play every multiplayer game you get on your Switch online. So I don't understand. I don't get how anybody would not have it in the first place. That's basically what I'm getting at. So you're getting it for free for a whole year. So it ain't like they said, fuck you, pay me so you can do your thing. So you can do your C button thing. They was like, here, it's here for a year. We're gonna polish it out. We're gonna iron it out because it's gonna be some faulty and glitches. You know what I mean? I think it's free for a year so they can learn how to filter all you nasty motherfuckers that's gonna be on this motherfucker. I think that's why they gave it to you free. They want to see how y'all gonna exploit the goddamn system, so they can figure out how to censor you motherfuckers online. That's what I really think is what it's about. Because that video camera is some dangerous fucking business. Anybody can get in front of that Switch 2 camera and do whatever the fuck they want to do. So it's going to be interesting what measures Nintendo is going to put into place to stop some shit like that. Because I can just imagine the shit we will see. You thought the Call of Duty lobbies were bad back in 360 and PS3? This Nintendo Switch 2 video chat might take the goddamn cake, bro. We might see some crazy shit. If Tears of the Kingdom was any indication of what you bitches are going to do when this video chat comes out, I'm afraid. Because y'all some freaky motherfuckers. I tell you that. So, so that's that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the game chat will be included into basically online multiplayer games where you can chat with anybody. Now, the video chat might not be where you could chat with anybody in online multiplayer, but I'm positive that the voice chat option will be there, because it wouldn't make any sense if it wouldn't. So, so yeah. Also, I think I wonder if that camera could do other thing where you can just, you know, download videos or anything like that. But, you know, Nintendo Treehouse Live is tomorrow, so we'll probably get more things on that as the time goes on. I expect that. I expect we get more information on what we can actually do with the Nintendo Switch 2 camera. So yeah, I wanted to show that because everybody was telling me about the 8 nanometer chip. I know I sound like a broken record, but that's how long people were talking about this 8 nanometer process and how you wasn't going to be able to do this and you wasn't going to be able to do that. And then here, lo and behold, not only do we got the best performance out of every console fucking available and every goddamn mobile PC available, we also have native voice and native video game chat while playing any game we want to. So, I say in conclusion, that means fuck your 8 nanometer process and your fake ass leaks, because they obviously were wrong. And y'all need to stop believing these people. This should be the last generation where we do this shit. At least for the Nintendo side. This should be the last generation we do this shit, because there's no reason to do this anymore. Like, how many times, how many console generations are we going to be wrong about what goes on? How many? I think that's enough. So, the next thing I want to get into while Will Smith cries his eyes out, the next thing I want to get into is, I want to talk about some of these games. I want to talk about some of these games first, and I don't know which one to start with. Let's start with Donkey Kong. Let's start with Donkey Kong Bonanza, because that game for sure was something serious, for sure. That game was something serious for sure, bro. The way this game looks, bruh, immaculate. I love it. I love it. I gotta watch this one again. I got tricked because I thought it was a 3D Mario game, and that was not the case, bro. That was not the case. I mean, look how pretty this is. This is a pretty ass game. This is a pretty ass game. Now, when I thought it wasn't Mario is when we got to this point. And I was like, wait a minute. Those are mine carts, and they're mining. That ain't no damn Mario. I love it. I love the new DK design. You can tell this is gonna be peak, bro. You can tell this is gonna be peak, bro. Oh no, if you watch this trailer in 4K, you will definitely see this is definitely one of the best looking games of this year, bro. I love that you can just destroy everything. Like, you literally can destroy the environment. It's like they said, they gave DK a game and said, let's just drop DK in a game and we can just fuck everything up. You know, that's basically it. I love it. I love it. The scale of the game seems pretty good. I guess it's probably a little bit semi-open world. The expressions are great. The graphics are amazing. And I want to know who this girl is right here, because she was looking a little bit of bad. She was a bad little 8. Y'all know she coming up in a second. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I was like, who that is? Who that is right there? Bruh. Bars, bro. 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 B Bars. Well, you know how long I've been waiting for a 3D Donkey Kong game, bro? I'm mad they dropped the boat on his ass like that. But you know how long I've been waiting for a 3D Donkey Kong game, my guy? It's been since N64, man. N64. And the fact that we get this 1 month after Switch 2 launches is amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. You can't say this game doesn't look good. You can't say you wasn't impressed by this game. You cannot tell me that you didn't think this game was fucking fire. And it's really interesting that they decided to forego 3D Mario and go with a 3D Donkey Kong game. I think that was crazy. But the thing I do want to show next is obviously the launch title. I call it the launch title because it's really the actual launch title. And it's one I called. People really thought Metroid Prime 4 was going to be the launch title. I was telling people, no, you saw only Mario Kart in the reveal trailer, and it was pretty evident that what it was going to be, and everybody was just trying to be in denial about it. And I was trying to tell people, like, nah, bro, this is your launch game. There's no reason to launch with anything else. There's no reason to launch with anything else. You launch with your biggest franchise. That's what Nintendo has learned. Mario Kart is that franchise now. Whether you like it or not, Mario Kart is that franchise now. But this game absolutely blew me away. Blew me away. I didn't think they could top Mario Kart 8 because they gave you everything they could in Mario Kart 8. But to completely make Mario Kart open world was smart. It was very smart. It was very smart. I like that. You got a significant upgrade visually. It's completely open world. I love that about this game. Completely. Now, one thing I do want to say, though, is that the 24-player online is insane. That is the most in the series history. Mario Kart was already a struggle when you had, 12 players. It was already a struggle. But to double that, to make it 24, playing online is going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be crazy to play online because it's like, you thought the blue shell was hell before? You thought the blue shell was hell before? Oh, man. Can you imagine going first to 24? I would quit. My guy. But let's listen in to what they say about Mario Kart, because this is pretty impressive about it. Mario Kart World that's the next evolution you could have did. That's all you could have did.
Series is launching exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2 system. Welcome
Now
to
this thing want to buffer and lag on me.
Kart races are held throughout various regions that span the globe. Depending on the time of day and weather conditions, the atmosphere will change.
Now, I want to talk about that for a second. Now, I like that. Dynamic weather. I like that. That's new for Mario Kart. I love it. For this thing to be an open world game like that, I love that. I love it. It's dynamic weather like that. Love it.
And in this Mario Kart game, you can go off the racetrack and drive virtually everywhere in this world.
So gone are the invisible walls while driving. You can drive virtually everywhere. That is insane. That is insane. That is impressive for a Mario Kart game, especially when you have 24 players on the track in an open world racer, mind you. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
In the Classic Grand Prix, race through 4 courses in a bid for first place. But don't sleep at the wheel. You'll also drive to the next course as part of the competition. With 24 drivers in each race, the most in series history, the competition is gearing up.
Now, I gotta pause right there because that took me for a loop. So now they're saying in between races, we have to drive to the next course. As cool as that sounds, I'm a little bit worried about how much time that's going to consume. Because if you're playing online, it's cool. You finish the race course, you go back to the menu, y'all ready up the next course, you vote for the next course. It's kind of like a quick online game like Call of Duty. You hop in the game, you can play for a little bit, and you can hop back out. If I have to drive to every course in between, what is the incentive for me driving to the next course? Hopefully they go over that in Nintendo Treehouse Live tomorrow and tell us what that is about. Because there has to be some incentive for us after we finish the race to drive to the next course. I think that's just, why else would they make us do that? You know what I mean? Do we race to the next course and that determines our position in line when we start the course? Do we get, do we start with an item if we're the first one there? I'm pretty sure there's some incentives to when we have to drive to the next course. So it kind of makes Mario Kart a non-stop action game, a non-stop action racing game, because there's no downtime. You already have to go through this exhilarating course to place in pole position. Then you have to race to the next course and then race again. I like that concept simply because it's there's no downtime. There's non-stop action. You're continuing with the fun, you continue with the action, all that good shit. But I am worried how long it will take to get to the next course because this is a giant fucking open world game. And y'all will see what I'm talking about if you haven't watched this trailer yet. This map is massive. This map is massive.
Introducing Knockout Tour. Race non-stop from one corner of the world to another.
Now, I'm also worried about that. Knockout Tour, right? Is you racing from one corner of the world to the next. Now, racing games are supposed to be spurts of fun. Can you handle racing for literally like 15 to 20 minutes straight? How do you make that exciting and not make that get boring and dull? So that's what I'm really interested to see how they do that.
If you're below the placement shown when you hit a checkpoint, you'll be eliminated. Can you make it all the way to the finish line?
Now, I like that you get eliminated if you don't get to the course in a certain time. So it could be situations where in this Mario Kart World game that in the non-stop knockout tour, it could be situations where you can actually target people. You know what I mean? Knock them off course or whatnot. Keep hitting them with items so they don't make the checkpoint. I can really see this mode can obviously develop some real fucking serious problems down the line where people can gang up on certain people and to prevent them from making it to the next part in knockout tour where probably the last race ends up having only 4 fucking people in it. So this could probably end up having some gang up activities that go on in Mario Kart. And we already be about ready to fight in fucking Mario Kart because Mario Kart is serious business. Mario Kart is serious business, just like Spades, just like Uno. It's serious business. We don't play about Mario Kart. We bound to fight over some Mario Kart. We're bound to fight over some Mario Kart. So I'm really interested how how they're going to organize that gameplay wise, because what's going to stop people from ganging up on certain people? If somebody been in first for the first 3 courses and knockout tour, what's going to stop me and some other dudes just from ganging up on the person in first and make sure they get eliminated before they get to the next round? So it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. Because, you know, I'll do some slimy shit like that in Mario Kart. I don't give a fuck. Winning is all that matters. Whether you win an inch or a mile, I'm going to get it done.
You can also freely drive around this vast world in free roam.
Now, this is probably the mode I'm going to play the most, is free roam.
New areas and routes. So drive wherever your heart takes you. You can also go for scenic drives with friends. And even take photos together at different locations.
That's what sold me on free roam. That's what sold me on free roam. I already got 1,000 ideas for free roaming in Mario Kart World. When they told me I had photo mode, oh, that was it for me. I knew I was playing this mode the most. Well, we're going to create some very crazy scenic pictures. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm ready for this. This is what I was waiting on. One thing else about Mario Kart 9, it seems like they have a lot of goddamn characters in here.
A brand new race across the entire world starts here.
Now,
Mario Kart World. The game launches on the same day as Nintendo Switch 2. More
crazy.
details about this title will
It's crazy.
be shared in an upcoming Mario Kart World Direct.
Now, a lot of people seem to have counted all the characters in Mario Kart World online, and it seems like they have over 30 characters, which means that they're putting everybody in this game. So Mario Kart has basically become Smash Brothers at this point. I've seen so many people in karts that I never thought I would see in Mario Karts ever. So Mario Kart World is definitely the perfect name for this for this damn game, and I'm looking forward to it. Now that brings us to the situation about the Nintendo Switch 2 game prices, because everybody's want to talk about that. So what I'm really going to have to do is I'm really going to have to figure out, I'm really going to have to look up that, what you call it, bro? I'm going to have to look up that, Nintendo site about, no, I've seen it before. I just don't know where the hell it was. Cause I definitely seen it before. I'm gonna have to find it. Basically about the video game pricing and obviously what it has to do with Mario Kart World. And there's a lot of nonsense going around, a lot of bullshit going around about what the actual prices for Nintendo Switch 2 games are. So we're going to look into that and explain what the hell is going on, because it's obviously some things that have been misinformed on purpose by a lot of journalists online. I really don't understand what some people's problems are, but you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what their issue is. I don't know what their deal is with Nintendo, but there are some false narratives going around and some false information going around about what the Nintendo Switch 2 game prices are. We are going to get into the damn third-party support on Switch 2, because I gotta make sure to give everybody their seat on that, because obviously people were wrong about that completely. So as I look this up, because I think I know I saved it. I'm gonna have it in a second. Hold up, did I just find it? Did I just find it? No, I didn't find it. I thought I had it. No, I don't got it. What the hell is going on, bruh? So basically there was some there was some false information going on around. About Mario Kart being $90. And I don't know where that originated from. I think an article for Insider Gaming put that out initially. And I don't know why that is the case. So what are we going to do is look at some of these prices here and figure it out about what's actually going on here. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing about it. I think I found it now. Okay, yeah, I think I got it now. Took a minute, but I got it now. Took a minute, but I got it now. All right, I think I got it now, y'all. So, had to figure that out real quick. So somebody misquoted the actual price for the games on Switch 2, and it wasn't exactly I'm not even gonna say it wasn't exactly accurate. It wasn't accurate at all. it wasn't accurate at all. So here we are. Here we are when it comes to the Switch 2 pricing. Obviously, we all know the Switch 2 costs $450. We know the Mario Kart and Switch 2 bundle costs $450. Now, here's where everything got a little bit confused for people. So we need to kind of like break this down. Obviously, you see here, this is the pre-order site for Walmart. Best Buy has the same games listed. As you can see, as we scroll through here on the games they actually put up for pre-order so far, there isn't any game priced at $90. So let's please get that out of the way. We need to understand that I really don't have any idea why the hell that was brought up. I don't have any idea why that was even a thing. I don't know who came up with that. I only seen it on Insider Gaming reporting that online, and then everybody kind of ran with it. And I don't know why they ran with it, because Nintendo didn't say any prices or anything. And once Nintendo did put their pre-order pages up and their game pages up, the prices of the games were literally on their Nintendo website within the first hour after the Switch 2 Direct was over. So it's basically a situation of people going on and taking false information and just running with it and not even following up and making sure it's accurate or even double checking. People just took it and ran with it, and it was the most insane shit I've ever saw. Because if you just went to Nintendo.com, you would have clearly saw that Donkey Kong Bananza was $70 and Mario Kart was $80. We're going to get into the Mario Kart $80 thing in a second. But you've seen, obviously, that was on their website. It wasn't hidden. You didn't have to go through 5 different clicks to find it out. You just went to the site, clicked on the game, and it was there. Now, I have no idea why this $90 narrative went so strong for so many fucking hours, where the information was right fucking there. So I don't understand why they went on for so many hours. It really shows you how people view Nintendo. And what I mean by that is, whenever we have information about Xbox Series S, or we have information about PlayStation 5, people are very quick. If it's not necessarily a good piece of news, people are very quick to double, triple, and quadruple check to make sure it's accurate. But if it's something supposedly bad about Nintendo, nobody checks anything. They see somebody else see it, then they repeat it. Then the next person see it, and then they repeat it. It's like, y'all, this page been up for fucking hours. And nobody thought about actually going to the fucking site of the fucking console manufacturer to see the price of the fucking game? It's ridiculous. It's still people on Twitter right now still quoting $90 for a fucking game. And that's not fucking factual. It's crazy to me that this shows you the double standard and how much people really despise Nintendo just for being Nintendo. It's ridiculous. Now, the other elephant in the room we have to talk about. The obvious thing. The obvious thing here. Where is it at? Did I pass it? Okay, Mario Kart World being $80. Now, here's my stance on it, and it's the same stance I had when Xbox Series S and PS5 came out and games was $70, $80, $90, $120. My stance is still the same. $70, okay. $70 is okay. I have no problem with that. These games are getting way bigger, way more graphical fidelity, way more production values are putting into them. They take a lot longer to make, which means you got to pay people a lot longer to make them. Bumping games up to $70, I didn't like it per se, but I understood it had to be done. Just like when a lot of y'all see y'all rent increase prices go up, you don't like it, but you kind of got to see how it has to be done. Now, where I have an issue with is that Nintendo is just sitting here basically pricing their games like the market has been pricing their games since 2020 on the PS4 and Xbox, the PS5 and Xbox Series X and X. All these third-party games, most importantly, and Sony has done this with a lot of first-party games too, they have been selling you two different versions of the game. They've been selling you a $70 base game, a $80 to $90 quote-unquote special edition, which you only get some cosmetics and an extra fucking character, and call it a special edition just to charge you more fucking money. So games been $70 to $90 for damn near 4 to 5 years. I'm not understanding why everybody's upset that Mario Kart World is $80. Did y'all automatically start being okay with these extra editions for these games that's been coming out? Because you're not getting anything in these extra edition of games to make it worth $80, $90, and $120. You're getting cosmetic bullshit and fucking extra weaponry that's not worth the extra price, just so they can sell you the game in a different fucking edition. Call of Duty is probably the worst culprit of this shit. Get the deluxe edition, get the extra disc edition, get your extra steel pack edition. It's like, for what? So I can have a shiny fucking character? So I can walk around with a fucking zombie fucking head on? Why? Why am I paying you more than $70 for this extra edition here? For what? The third parties and Sony and Microsoft have already set the precedent for how game prices are going to be. And Nintendo just follows suit with Mario Kart World. That's all they did. I don't necessarily like it myself, but it was already in place. At least Nintendo is not sitting up here masking the price with these fake ass other editions of these games. Because these other editions don't mean shit. In Madden, you get the Madden Ultimate Edition because you get extra Madden Ultimate cards. Who gives a fuck if you give me extra cards in Madden? You charging me $10 to $20 more for the game to give me some more MUT cards? Just so I can have some more VC and NBA 2K? That's how you masking me paying more for a better edition when the edition ain't really fucking better? There's no special or better edition of the fucking game. You just charging me more for the game on some bullshit add-ons that I necessarily don't fucking need in the first place. So what's the fucking point of making these extra editions? Almost every game coming out now has extra editions. There's rarely any actual special editions where you get special shit with it. There are some games that still do that. I'm not saying all games don't. But these other editions of these regular games that come out, there's nothing really extra about these extra editions. You're usually getting cosmetic shit that ain't worth a goddamn dime. They're not worth anything. Just like somebody said, the W2K Bloodline edition is $129. For what? Because you're going to give me the whole fucking Bloodline? The extra Bloodline quote-unquote story? Like, you're not giving me anything to justify this price. And the company's been doing this shit for 4 or 5 years. And Nintendo said, well, we don't want to nickel and dime you on some fake-ass edition. We just believe we put enough content in this game and it's worth $80. So we're going to price it at $80. I have no problem with that reasoning because the precedent was already set before Nintendo did this. They just did come up with Mario Kart World Rainbow Edition at $80 and you get a rainbow kart and you get an extra power up. They decided not to do that fuck shit and just say, we ain't got to do that. The game is worth $80 to us. We're going to sell it at $80. Or whether y'all wanted to see that, Mario Kart World at $70, then Mario Kart World Rainbow Edition, where you get rainbow cars and rainbow rims and rainbow tires at $80, then Mario Kart Super Duper Rainbow Edition at $129. Did you really want to see that shit on Switch 2? Or is people really thinking these extra editions of all these multiplayer games and all multiplayer games are actually valid? None of them are fucking valid. It's just extra bluff shit. It's extra bluff of fucking value to sell you a higher game edition. Every fucking game I buy on Xbox Series X, Series X, I buy the regular edition. Because the extra editions don't add anything. It's just bullshit to sell you a higher price. So you're buying all this extra shit and they fluffing it up with all these extra cosmetic shit that you should unlock in the game anyway. Newsflash, we used to play games and unlock shit in them like cosmetics. But now we don't do that anymore. They sell you an extra edition and you get Indiana Jones in a gold fucking suit and all this other shit. You get a purple whip. It's like, for what? I need to buy an extra edition to have a fucking purple whip? I need to buy an extra edition so I can have a futuristic gun in Call of Duty? For fucking what? I'm not getting nothing extra out of this. It's a cosmetic thing. So games have always been $70 to $120 because they just been masking them as extra editions. Extra editions that don't give you nothing really fucking extra. I'm sorry, but cosmetics ain't extra work for me. It ain't extra. It's not something that's worth extra price to me. It's not at all. I buy the regular edition of every Xbox and Series X game I buy. Because I don't need to buy those other editions because it's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. It's fluff. Just to sell a game at a higher fucking price. That's what it is. So, I don't like that this precedent was already set before Nintendo. But I do respect them for being completely, transparent about it and not masking it with some other bullshit. They feel like Mario Kart World is worth $80 damn. They see everybody else selling their games for 70 to 120, 30 goddamn dollars and masking them as extra editions. You get this extra this, you get this extra that. If you come over here, you get this extra lighting. And it's like, that's a whole bunch of fluff bullshit. That's all it is. And we ain't gonna talk about how games DLC you to fucking death, aka Dragon Ball. By the time you finish buying every DLC and every DLC fighter and character, the game, you probably spent damn near $300 on the fucking game. So I have no fucking problem with them pricing Mario Kart World at $80 fucking dollars when Mario Kart World is probably going to have 2 to 8 times more content than these other games that are going to be sold on these other platforms. Just like in the chat, people are telling me, Indiana Jones Premium Edition, $99. The Dark Ages Special Edition, $99. It's like they already been doing this shit. It's already been doing it. So what are we talking about? What are we outraged for? I know y'all didn't expect this Nintendo Switch 2 to come out and be punching around the power of Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X and X and PS5, and the games were going to remain at 60. I know you didn't expect that. There's no way. 70 was the standard baseline price. And that's why you see Donkey Kong is 70 goddamn dollars. That is obviously the baseline price for Switch 2 games. It makes sense because that is the baseline starting price for all current generation games. But when it comes to premium games, Nintendo is inclined and they feel like they have the right to up that price to $80. Now, if you're upset about this and you rather Nintendo go the other route that everybody else is doing and give you Mario Kart World Rainbow Edition, Mario Kart World Mushroom Edition, Mario Kart World Hyrule Edition, if you want them to do all that shit to nickel and dime you, then ask them to do that then. But if you rather have them be straight up, give you a full content game, a game that obviously you're going to be able to play for more than 20 fucking hours, a game that's obviously going to get a lot of goddamn pre-launch content, if Mario Kart 8 was any indication, I don't see no problem with this game costing $80. But at the same time, I still don't like games costing that much. But I understand why they did it, because the market was already done. It's already been doing it. They've been doing it. So they've been doing it. So it is what it is. That's why I don't understand it. Now you see, now the other factor that's going to go into a lot of Switch games, as you can see, Street Fighter 6 on Switch 2 is $60. That's pretty dope. I think that was an executive decision at Capcom, because they probably really want this game to sell on Switch 2, so they probably dropped the price a little bit more. And you get a lot of extra content in that goddamn game for Street Fighter 6. And I'm pretty sure that game was full price when it first came out. I don't know if it got a discount by now. It probably did get a discount on other consoles by now. So, yeah, I don't get it. Now I want to talk about the Switch 1 games that have Switch 2 enhancements. Because people see the Kirby being $80. They see Breath of the Wild being $70. They seeing Tears of the Kingdom being $80. And they seeing Mario Party Jamboree being $80. Now, once again, for the internet people who don't like to fucking read, for some reason, they don't like to read, Nintendo put out a graphic showing what this Switch 2 edition of these Switch 1 games, what all comes with the Switch 2 edition. What do you get by upgrading to these games? This is why the prices are a little bit different. Especially in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, those two editions are really just visual improvements in frame rates, loading times, and HDR support. So those two games got $10 price increases for Switch 2 editions. If you don't have the game already, you are going to pay the base price of the game plus the price of the Switch 2 upgrade. The base price of the game is $60 for Breath of the Wild, plus the Switch 2 edition upgrade, plus $10. That's $7. I understand people on the internet can't read. They're not great with math. Tears of the Kingdom, the base price is $70. To upgrade to the Switch 2 edition with all the perks, it's plus $10. So now the game is $80 if you do not own the game. This is simple math. When it comes to Kirby and Mario Party Jamboree, these two editions, Switch 2 editions, actually have extra DLC plus the visual enhancements. So those got a $20 Switch 2 edition upgrade price. So the base game is $60 plus the $20 for the Switch 2 upgrade and DLC brings it to $80. Same thing with the Kirby game. It's simple fucking math. I'm not sure why people thought that they was going to get the Switch 2 improved edition with DLC for a low discounted price of under $60. I'm confused by that because the retail price for these games on Switch 1 is $60 fucking dollars. So why did you expect it to be enhanced with extra DLC on Switch 2 with extra visual improvements and frame rates? Why did you expect it to be $60 or even less? But the kicker that nobody wants to talk about, if you already own these games on Switch 1 and you have an NSO membership, you get to upgrade to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition for free. Nobody wanted to actually bring that up today, which is really interesting to me. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't understand it. Y'all really wanted to get a game for free that you never bought? I think that's just common sense. It's common sense to me. If I own the Switch 1 game, I can upgrade for free as long as I got my Nintendo Switch Online membership. And on top of that, they're actually giving out free Switch 2 edition updates to a lot of Switch 1 games for free, whether you got an NSO membership or not. They put that list out and people ignored that. So I'm really confused. If you already own these games, your whole Nintendo account is going to transfer over to Switch 2. 99% of you got NSO Online. So you're going to pay $10 to $20 for your upgrades of Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, Mario Party Jamboree, and Kirby, and Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends ZA, because those are the other two games that ain't out yet. Your price, if you already own those games, well, obviously you don't own Metroid Prime 4 and Pokemon Legends yet. Your price, if you own any of these games, is going to be $10 to $20 to upgrade to the Switch 2 edition. That just makes perfect sense. I'm pretty sure most of the people that was bitching and whining already have the game. So why are you upset that they're selling the full game plus the Switch 2 edition to people who don't have the fucking game and never bought the fucking game? That's who these editions are for. This ain't for you if you already bought the game. If you already bought the game and you own the game, your path to the Switch 2 edition is completely different. This is for people who don't have the fucking games on Switch 1 already. This is who this is for. I thought that was just self-explanatory, but obviously it's not. People are really making this into a mind-bending thing. It's not mind-bending. This is the same shit that Sony did on PS5. It's no different. It's literally no different. Once again, this is a situation that was already set in place before Nintendo Switch 2 even came out. This ain't something Nintendo just came up with on the fly. The market was already doing it. They just said, well, I guess we're going to follow suit with this because this is what the new standard is. You don't have to like it, but you can't blame them because they didn't set the precedent for it. That's where y'all got the misconception at. So obviously, a full-fledged AAA game like Donkey Kong Bananza, the baseline game price for a Switch 2 game is $70. I'm pretty sure when you get the price of all these third-party games that came out, they're going to be $70. Okay? Now, as far as how many games Nintendo are going to price at $80 for Switch 2 games that come out, it's highly unlikely that it's going to be a lot. It's obviously probably going to be the next Zelda game, which ain't coming out for the next 5 fucking years anyway. And it's obviously going to be the next Super Smash Bros. Game, for sure. Those are probably going to be premium price Nintendo first-party titles. I don't expect to see that out of 3D Mario. I don't expect that to see that out of no Fire Emblem, none of shit like that, because those games were not priced like that on Switch 1. So it makes no sense for them to be priced like that on Switch 2. Unless something drastically changes, some drastic measures took place, and these games became full-blown, crazy open world development featured games. And I don't think that's not going to happen to every Nintendo franchise. They're not going to be big budget blowing up games like that. So Super Smash Brothers in the next Zelda game, absolutely. I'm telling you right now, that's going to be $80. But the baseline price and the standard price for Switch 2 games is $70, just like it is on PS5, just like it is on Xbox Series X. The standard is not $80. It is $70. It's pretty obvious when you look at all the information you get what is going on here, and y'all don't understand that. Y'all don't understand that. And a lot of people want to bring up Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8 was a Wii U game. And I keep telling y'all, the Wii U is a whole different situation than what the Switch was. The Wii U was a dead console. They had to get all of the games off that fucking console that they thought was worthy of surviving. Luckily, they did do that. And at that point in time, when Switch came out, the price of games were $60 goddamn dollars. They wasn't even $70 yet. Keep in mind, this is almost 9-10 years ago. You know what I mean? So Mario Kart 8 was a port from the previous game. Mario Kart World is not a port. It's a brand new game built on Switch 2. It's not the same situation at all. So, yeah, I don't think games should take over 70. I hate the pricing situation when it comes to the other consoles with these bullshit additions they come out with just to sell you the game at a higher price. I don't like it. I don't like it. And they set a precedent for it. Nintendo said, what the fuck? Our games are way more valuable. We have way more content. If everybody's selling their game at this price, I think we should be able to increase our price $10 damn. And from a business standpoint, I get it. I understand it. Okay, I can't debate you, Nintendo, on that. Do I like it? No, I don't like it. But I understand you didn't create this monster. Those other assholes on the other side created this monster. And that's who y'all should be mad at. Just like with the PS5 costing $600 to $700, PS5 Pro costing $600 to $700 damn dollars, you could bet your ass you're gonna be paying damn near $1,000 for the next PS5 and Xbox consoles because they already set the precedent for it. So I'm telling you right now, you ain't feeling nothing yet. Then got the tariff shit finna go down too. Buckle up. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, especially if you game on, if you're not gaming on Switch too, and you game on other consoles, it's gonna be it's about to be a bumpy ride for you. You finna be taken for a motherfucking ride. Let's get this super chat here. It's your boy with the $4.99. Folks so slow they expect Switch 2 to be $3.99 when the OLED Switch is $3.49. These people wanted a miracle from Nintendo. Yeah, that's funny. I don't. $450. I predicted 400 to 450. Because I was really basing it on where I believe the Switch 2 would be power wise. But 450 didn't shock me, and then I see actually the Switch 2 power wise is a little bit far beyond than what I thought it was going to be, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I don't think anybody really has a problem with the price of the Switch 2 console after you see everything that it does. Like, I haven't heard anybody really gripe. The price of the console is fine. It's fair. It's justified. I think people have a little bit of issue with the premium pricing for certain games, especially Mario Kart World, where it being $80. Anybody that thought games were going to be under $70 has lost their fucking mind. You're not going to have a system this capable that's going to run all capable current generation games, and the games are going to be under 60. They're not under 60 where on the other consoles and places they sell them. So why would it be under 60 on Switch 2? That's why I don't get. Like, where is this logic coming from? You think Borderlands 4 is supposed to be cheaper on Switch 2 than it's going to be on PS5 and Xbox Series S and X? When they're pushing the same versions, when the Switch 2 is pushing around the same power, why would the games be cheaper on Switch 2? Like, I don't understand where y'all was thinking. I don't know where your mind was. I don't. Obviously, there's going to be a situation where games are a little bit older, like Super Street Fighter 6 right here, that's $60 on Switch 2. You're going to get situations like that. Even Bravely Default HD Remaster is $40. You know, it's an HD remaster of the 3DS game. So it's like, okay, I get that. That's understandable. But for your base current generation game, it's going to be $70 goddamn dollars. That's what y'all been paying anyway on other consoles. As it is what it is. So it's like, I don't get what you're saying. I don't get it. I don't get what some people were upset about. Obviously, if you wasn't playing on Xbox Series X and PS5, you obviously didn't experience buying the $70 games, but most of you play on more than one console anyway, so you already knew this. So I kind of feel like for some people, they really expected the Switch. I'm gonna put it like this. I think for some people, they really fell for the bullshit about Switch 2 being weak, Switch 2 being a PS4 because it's 8 nanometer, and they really thought this was not going to be a powerful system, and they was going to get away with games being $60, and the system was going to be $349 and $399, which I don't know why y'all fell for that bullshit. I really don't know why y'all fell for that. It made no logical sense for something to be called Switch 2 if it wasn't significantly more powerful than the regular Switch. This is where we are. People have been whining and crying about Nintendo bringing their hardware back up to form, you know, having modern capable hardware, having powerful hardware, and now they gave it to you. And now you still find something to bitch about. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. We just got to get it straight. Nip it in the bud. Switch 2 games are going to be $70. That is the standard price. That's exactly what I expect to pay when Madden comes out on Switch 2. That's exactly what I'm going to expect to pay when the new 007 game comes out on Switch 2. That's exactly what I'm going to expect to pay when Borderlands 4 comes out on Switch 2, because that's the price of those games on the other consoles. That's what I'm expecting to pay. That's where the technology has us at. So I don't get that. Now, if you want to debate about $80 premium pricing on games, you can do that. I have no problem with anybody that has a gripe with that. I just understand it, and I'm okay with it. Because I'm buying the $450 bundle anyway, so my Mario Kart gonna cost me $50. I don't know about you. So I ain't worried about it. I'll worry about that when Zelda comes. When Zelda comes around in the next 5 years. But if you have a problem with that, fine. That's your prerogative. I cannot sit up here and say that you're wrong for having a problem with that. But you also got to understand where the shit came from. It came from all these companies, especially third-party companies, selling all these multiple editions of games, trying to make you pay more for the games that they develop by giving you fluff bullshit of other editions at $80, $90, $120, $150. Like, come on, people. This shit already been here. Nintendo just did it a different way. That's all it was. That's all it was. I'm trying to read this chat. So that's what I have to say about that. And and that's what I have to say about that. So quit your whining, because the games are going to be $70. Don't worry about it. $80 is not going to be a regular thing. It's going to be $70. That's what's going to be the regular thing. So y'all can pump your brakes on that. You know what I'm saying? Calm down a little bit. Get your panties out of a bunch. All that good stuff. You ain't got to worry about that too much. But I will say this. Though. I will say this for sure. I'm going to say this for sure. Y'all really thought Switch 2 was not going to play PS5 and Xbox Series X games, huh? The Nintendo hate brigade really thought the Switch 2 was not going to be capable of running PS5 and Xbox Series S and X games. She's hilarious. Oh, by the way, in this Nintendo Direct for Switch 2, right? For Switch 2. I'm going to list you the third-party games that have been announced. Street Fighter 6. Split Fiction. Borderlands 4. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Cyberpunk 2077. Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, which includes Elden Ring Shadow of the whatever tree they call it, and some extra stuff in there. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 Remake. Wild Hearts. Star Wars Outlaws. Hitman World Assassinations. Madden NFL 26. EA Sports Football Club 26. WWE 2K 2K25. NBA 2K26. 007, Project 007. And also missing some other things. So, I'm also missing some other games I didn't say for third party wise. So, out of all those games have something synonymous with each other. Does anybody in the chat know what that is? All those third party games I listed, they all have one common denominator. Does anybody know what that is? I think I'm going to say what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is. They all are on PS5 and Xbox Series S and X. None of them are on PS4. So today in Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, Nintendo showcased and showed you, and third parties showed you, PS5 and Xbox Series S and X games running and releasing on Nintendo Switch 2. They didn't show you one PS4 game. Not one. The Elden Ring edition is the current gen edition of Elden Ring, plus the DLC and all that extra stuff. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is the PS5 game. Intergrade is not on PS4. They showed you a lot of games that are on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. They didn't show you one game that was on PS4. They didn't announce you one game that was on PS4. Cyberpunk, obviously that's a cross-gen game. That came out so long ago. But there's a common denominator there. Street Fighter 6 on PS4 is nowhere near Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 6 on PS5 and Xbox Series S. Let's stop the cap right there. So there's a reason why PS5 and Xbox Series X games are coming to Switch 2, and there are no last gen ports from PS4 coming to Switch 2. Can anybody guess why that is the case? It's not a hard guess. You know, it's an easy guess. Easy guess why that is. Easy guess. It's easy guess. Take a wild fucking guess why that is happening right now. I think you already know the answer. But the funny thing is, I think somebody told you this months ago about the Nintendo Switch 2. I think somebody told you this months ago. I think that person was me. Oh, and by the way, Square Enix did confirm that the whole Final Fantasy Remake series is coming to Switch 2. It's just starting with Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate, and obviously Rebirth is coming. That's probably going to be next year, and then obviously they're working on the third game. That's probably going to release simultaneously on everything. Also, by the way, Damon X Monica Titan Scenic, I think that's the name of it. That's also a PS5 and Xbox Series X game. Once again, Phil Spencer already told you that all their games are going to come on Switch 2, which are Xbox Series S and X games. So I think a lot of people owe a lot of people apologies. You know what I mean? Because everybody was talking about, that 8 nanometer and all this other stuff that's not capable of doing this and not capable of doing that. Well, obviously, y'all was wrong. Y'all was dead wrong, because Nintendo came out here and told you 1080p, 120 frames per second, HDR support, 4K 60 docked. They went above and beyond even what people thought would be the good point for Switch 2. All I gotta say is that DLSS technology is DLSSing. It's doing its job. And you're gonna have situations where I've been telling people for the longest that there's gonna be situations where Switch 2 games are gonna outperform Xbox Series S and X and PS5 games with in-game performance, simply because of the technology in Switch 2. Now I think some of y'all are actually gonna see what I'm talking about. I think you're actually going to see what I'm talking about. And for the love of God, if you have games running at 120 frames per second in handheld mode at 1080p, and we got motherfuckers struggling with dynamic resolution, barely hitting 60 frames per second on PS5 and Xbox Series, that's going to be some wild shit to actually see. That's going to be some wild shit to actually see. So, yeah, it's people in the chat going to bring up the 30 frames per 60 frames per second situation. My view on that has not changed. It's not going to change. This is all about if a game is optimized and the frame pacing in the frame rate is locked, it's not bouncing all over the place. Yes, it is very hard to determine 30 from 60 when it's in optimal conditions. Everybody has said this. We have seen numerous occasions where this is the case. This is simply about what people were telling us the Switch 2 was not going to be able to do. And it's clearly doing that and more. That's what this is about. And it's about me being right about what the fuck I've been saying for the last 9 to 10 to 12 months. That's what this is about. So, when I told you Grand Theft Auto 6 was going to be on Switch 2, I think a lot of y'all kind of believe me now, don't you? Oh, there's no reason for it to not be on Switch 2 at this point. There's absolutely no reason. 2K is bringing everything else over. They're literally bringing every other game they got over. You think they're really not going to bring Grand Theft Auto 6 to a system that's capable of running it? This is why I say the PS5 and Xbox Series days is game over. Because once these games start coming out and they start releasing on time, which a lot of games are releasing on time out of the gate on Switch 2, being your Madden, your FIFA, your NBA 2K, your Borderlands 4, you know, your 007, etc., etc. Honestly, what's the point of owning a PS5 and the Xbox Series S or X? What's the point? Especially if the Switch 2 version is going to run at higher performance rates. What is the point of owning those other consoles? Neither one of them barely have any exclusives anymore. Xbox definitely don't have no exclusives no more. Sony is definitely showing you they're going the Xbox way, because we just literally got more Sony games on Switch the last Direct last week. So they go on the same route. So what is going to be the point of buying an Xbox Series console or buying a PS5 console if you already going to have the Switch 2 versions already available to you, and they're going to run and perform better on the Switch 2? What is going to be the point? And the Switch 2 actually has exclusives. The Switch 2 actually still was able to finesse and secure a third-party exclusive from software with the DuskBloods, which looks like almost like a sequel to Bloodborne, but that's a whole nother conversation. So what is this is why I say it's game over. I don't know what they can do at this point, because they obviously doing multi-plat strategies. It's a done deal. There's no point. If I could play NBA 2K, if I could play NBA 2K 1080p 120 frames per second on Switch 2 portable mode, why the fuck? Why would I even bother with the PS5 and Xbox Series console? If I could play the next Call of Duty game at 4K 60 on Switch 2 dock and 120 frames per second 1080p on portable mode, why even bother with the other consoles? What's the point? Isn't that the whole argument of you PC guys, of you PC tech fucking zombies? Ain't that the argument for y'all anyway? I can run at my high frame rates. I can run it at 1080p. I can run it at 1080p and my 120 frames per second. That was their whole argument on PC. Okay, so what's the point now? Why do we need to spend extra 5 times the extra money to play on PC now? What's the point? If my game is going to perform just like yours, what's the point? If I can achieve 120 frames per second at 1080p on my Switch 2, why would I bother building a $3,000 to $5,000 PC? What's the point? What's the point of doing it? That's the thing I love about Switch 2. Switch 2 is doing exactly everything the Nintendo Hate Brigade said the Switch 2 is not going to do. So now it's going to force them to come up with new narratives. The power narrative is gone. The performance narrative is gone. The games not being available narrative is gone. It's going to force them to come up with some other things. But you know what the great part about it is? There isn't nothing else they can come up with. What else narrative are you going to come up with? You going to hate Nintendo for actually having exclusive games? This is why I say this is another domination period for Nintendo, and it's pretty much exactly what it's going to be. It is what it is. Obviously, the online discourse and hate that you see going on right now, and they're continuously attacking the fraudulent, fake information of game prices online, is because there's nothing else you can attack about this system. The power, more than adequate. The performance, superb. The makeup of the console, the innovation of the console, great. The online features of the console, great. The standard modernized features of the console, great. The exclusive lineup of the console, great. There's literally nothing to attack about the Switch 2. So this is why everybody has latched on to this $80, $90 bullshit, because there's literally nothing else negative you can talk about when it comes to Switch 2. Can't talk about the price point. Absolutely fair. Absolutely great price point. There's nothing left. There's nothing left for the Nintendo Hate Brigade to hate on and create a false narrative about. There's nothing left. So I guarantee you they will be stuck on this $80 game bullshit for at least the next 2 weeks, because there's literally nothing else they can latch on to. All their narratives of the last decade and a half are dead in the water forever. And it's going to be so hilarious, because I personally don't care. As long as my game runs smooth and I'm enjoying my game, I'm good. It could be 30 frames per second. But it's going to be so hilarious to see people have to eat so much crow when Switch 2 versions of games are outperforming the other versions of games. Because at that point, what can you do? What can you say? What can you do? What can you say at that point, right? It's driving them fucking crazy. This is why so many people are trying to really hate really hard on this $80 Mario Kart World shit. There's literally nothing else you can say about the console. Nothing. There's no other flaw available for you to try to exploit and over-fabricate and over-exaggerate. There's nothing. There's nothing. You can't come up with one. I can't think of one. There's nothing. Switch 2 is literally doing the same thing, or even doing it better than what the competition consoles are doing. There's nothing else you can come up with. So, and on top of that, they're giving you GameCube on NSO with enhancements and online play. There is no flaw in this system. There's no flaw. So I'm really interested to see how the next few months go. When third-party games keep releasing on the system, when Nintendo keep dropping their exclusive Switch 2 titles, I'm really interested to see how the narrative is going to change and what they're going to desperately reach for. I want to see what that is because there's nothing you can reach for. The online is full-fledged now. It has every modern feature now. Even more features than PSN and Xbox Game Pass. So I don't know. Like, what can you reach for now? I don't know. But knowing this Nintendo hate brigade, they're going to try to latch on to something. But it's slim pickings. I don't even want to call it slim pickings. It's no pickings, honestly, because I don't know what they can latch onto. But one thing's for sure, Switch 2 being compared to any of these mobile PCs is fucking dead. That is totally dead. That's Lake Lanier dead. Like under the sea. That's over with. That's over with. We should never utter Steam Deck ROG Ally in the same sentence as Switch 2 ever again. That's dead, and that's completely dead. Like roadkill. So I'm ready to see what it's about. I'm ready to see what the next few months are going to entail on how they're going to try to flip this thing around. Or maybe they will finally bend the knee and come join the Nintendo God race. Cause that's probably what's going to end up happening. Cause y'all already know how this thing goes. Once we get closer and closer to this launch, once we get closer and closer to the release of Mario Kart World, once we get closer and closer to E3 season, keep in mind we're still going to get an E3 Direct from Nintendo, which is going to be a Switch 2 based in June, which is crazy. So, pretty sure they're going to reveal a lot of shit there as well. People are really, really going to. They're going to bend that knee. Because this shit is going to be looking real good. When this Switch 2 gets close, and that Mario Kart World, they start showing all that content. They start showing all those racers. Those pre-orders start going up. Y'all going to get that itch. Y'all going to get that itch, bro. Y'all going to get it. Y'all are going to get it, bro. I know I already have it. But y'all going to get it. When that Metroid Prime 4 comes up, y'all going to get it. Oh, y'all going to get it for real. That itch is going to come. But I'm just happy. This was a great presentation of a Direct. This is absolutely would have been a 10 out of 10 if Sakurai didn't waste 2 years on creating Kirby Air Riders. I'm still pissed about that. He could have made any game he wanted to, and it was Kirby Air Riders. That shit really pissed me off. But flawless Direct. Flawless. So, yeah. Go play that Switch 2 at the Switch 2 experience. Do y'all thug thizzle. And have fun. And enjoy trolling these PC tech zombies and these PlayStation flyflation bitches. Enjoy trolling them guys because they spent months telling you what was not going to happen, only for every single solitary thing they said wasn't going to happen did happen. Down to the very last one. Every single one of them. Shit's hilarious to me. It's hilarious. I'm ready for what else we're going to be seeing. We're going to be showing it to the Treehouse Live. Any questions real quick before I end this stream? Because I'm going to come back for Nintendo Treehouse Live and I'm going to stream that live. I think Metro Prime 4 is going to be on tomorrow, so I'm definitely going to do that. So, quick questions real quick for anybody. quick questions. Anybody, before we wrap it up, and tell me your things about Switch 2 that you love, how excited you are for it, what you're looking forward to, etc., and all that other stuff. And before I get out of here, because Nintendo Treehouse Live, it's coming. It's definitely coming. No questions. Original Xbox on NSO. I don't know. I don't know. At this point, it wouldn't shock me. That shit wouldn't shock me. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I'm buying everything day one. Mario Kart 8 bundle. I'm a team physical guy, but with Mario Kart, that's a Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart World bundle. We've been playing that game for so long, you can only say Mario. Usually I used to say Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart World bundle. That's what I'm getting. I'm okay with Mario Kart World being digital because that's a game I'm never going to trade in. I'm never going to get rid of it. I'm going to have it to the entirety of the lifetime of my Switch 2. So I'm okay with that. That's what I'm getting. I'm being there day one. I'm definitely going to buy Donkey Kong Bananza. I've been waiting for 3D Donkey Kong for so long. I'm pretty sure Metroid Prime is going to come out in August. Pretty sure. They're going to place that in August. And I think the first 3 months of Switch are going to be solidified. Obviously, you have your third-party games that is coming out too. Your Tony Hawk's coming out in July. Your Madden's coming out in August. I'm not sure. I don't know if they're having college football. If they having Madden, they're probably bringing out college football too. So, yeah, I think your first 3 months of Switch are solid. Like, obviously, we'll know more. Obviously, it's going to go Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong, Bonanza, and then Metroid Prime 4. So, the first 3 months are going to be pretty solid for Switch 2. It's going to be real solid for Switch 2. I'm not even counting the third-party games. Obviously, you're going to have your Final Fantasy Remake integrate. You're going to have your Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, the Ultimate Edition. You know what I mean? Cyberpunk is going to be there day one. It's going to be a lot of other third-party games there day one. So, I know I'm getting Mario Kart. I know, at bare minimum, it's going to be Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Metroid Prime 4, obviously, for obvious reasons. That's a great 3-month start. Third-party games, I have to see what else is coming out. Because I already done played almost everything that's already been out and is coming. So, I'm looking forward to the newer third-party games. So, yeah. Any more questions? It doesn't matter if your backlog is big. Your Switch games are going to play on Switch 2. So you might as well get the system. I'm going to tell you right now, you might as well just already go ahead and buy the Switch 2 system. You don't want to be in a situation in the fall, in the Christmas time, trying to fucking, break your neck to get a Switch 2 because the supply is very scarce. Get the shit now and get it over with. Your games are going to play on Switch 2 anyway. So just get the system. So you don't have to worry about that part later on. That's why I'm doing it. Of course, I want to play Mario Kart World day one, and all the other games day one, but I'm not trying to be asked out like everybody else was asked out when Switch 1 launched. I got my Switch 1 at launch, and everybody was asked out for months trying to get a Nintendo Switch. I'm not going through that shit. That shit would drive me crazy. I'm getting it day one, and that's that. That's what we're doing. So, yeah. Other than that, I'm about to get out of here. This is a great live stream. We reviewed everything and all that other good shit. And we are going to make sure Smash Brothers, we're probably going to see that for another year or two. Make sure y'all watch Nintendo Treehouse live tomorrow. I'm going to be live streaming, hopefully. And there'll definitely be some video or live stream tomorrow for the Nintendo Treehouse Live. So until then, y'all need to go ahead and tell these Nintendo Hate Brigade bitches, y'all need to go ahead and tell them. Ask them this one question. This one question. How does Nintendo Nuts taste?